So today's project Soapway Winner, I honestly thought it was just going to be a very run of the mill, basic, edit, listen to the footage, do the things, whatever. And I wasn't really expecting to be emotionally impacted by it because this particular Sudser, I don't know super well. You know what I mean? And so I thought it would be interesting, cool process, whatever. And the reverse happened. I mean, while it was interesting and a cool process that we get to see today, it left me very emotional and kind of feeling like I had just had some sort of really cool therapy session, or I don't know, being told about the world from wiser people. It was lovely, is the point. And this project, Soapway Winner, is becoming one of my most favorite sudsers ever as a result of that. And I am looking forward to telling you more about her and her business and why this one hit me harder than I expected it to in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for week 30 of year 3 for the Woodgrain Challenge. Now, this particular winner is, again, as I said, a reasonably new Sudser to the Discord community. I don't have a ton of interactions with her, and again, as I said, thought it was just going to be kind of a cut and dry video. And what Shelly from Laurel Berry Soaps delivered was the absolute opposite of that. First up, her footage was so cute. I love the setup of everything going on. It really allowed me to play with some different camera angles and some fun little, skewing of the footage to hit different points within all of it. I love that she had this wood grain background while she is making a wood grain soap. It was delightful. But second, learning about her and who she is as a person, where she comes from, what her business is, why her business was started, and all of the things involving her family was absolutely heartwarming. It felt like I was talking with a friend, and while I will not be including any of that actual footage within it, I'm probably going to be talking about it. So we're going to go to the video and we are going to talk about Shelly of Laurel Berry, her amazing wood grain, her amazing humanness, and all the things, right now. Okay, so first up, Laurel Berry. I love her record keeping, and she was telling me all about it here with this. It says like batch 203 or whatever there. That does not mean that she has attempted this wood grain 203 times. As you can see there, it also says wood grain number 3. She's attempted it 3 times. Their batch is how many batches she's made, like in total, right? And she keeps notes on all of her batches within this book, as well as all of her, her recipe and all the additives and everything that she puts into it, which I think is beautiful. So I love her record keeping so hard. This particular recipe looks like it has 5% hemp, 5% castor, 30% coconut, 20% palm, 20% canola, and 20% olive. And her additives with the sodium lactate, goat's milk, the something else, powdered sugar, yes, and kaolin clay. And she is going to be working with the currant and oak moss and working on a red berry oak pattern. And I really like how she does the swatches as well for her micas. So she kind of gets an idea of what they're going to look like. Make sure the color palette is all beautiful and awesome. Love that. 10 out of 10. Also, can we talk about, we know we're going to be doing 4 or 5, probably 5 colors within all of this because she's got the 4 ready to go. and then her main batch could be white, But can we talk about how her aesthetic overall is just super gorgeous? She is making her soap on a background of wood for us. It's a beautiful aesthetic. Scout actually told me the other day that aesthetic only means pastels. And so I'm kind of questioning everything in my life. But also, this is information from a 9-year-old. So while she's usually right about more things in life than I am, she might be wrong in this one. But anyway, I love that she did this and set this up so beautifully. You can tell that she was very thoughtful in her approach to this wood grain, not only from making the soap itself, but understanding that it was going to be filmed and that there was a potential that she was going to win, and therefore that the footage would need to be, some kind of way. And so she put in some extra effort, which I always love to see, for sure. Now, I did see or listen to in her footage, she did talk about her micas, right? And so she gets her micas from a place called Micas and More. And I had never heard of it, but she was telling me about it and how she likes it, and the price point is really good. But for the most part, what she does is she buys the primary colors and then she blends her micas into all of the colors that she needs, which I think is a very smart idea, especially for people that are starting out. It's nice to have good soap tested micas, but if you have that color eye and you can, do all the blending and whatnot, yeah, pick up the primary colors plus, some browns, and you're kind of good to go. Although she does pick up browns, but you could also just not pick up browns and use any matter of other things, right? You can use the cocoa powder that we saw from Kelsey yesterday, or you can use clays and whatnot to get your browns and your blacks and your grays and all the things. But I really thought that that was a very smart idea. So yes, people should definitely earmark that and file it away for, if they're starting out again as a new soaper, costs can get real high. And so getting into that sort of groove and not feeling like you're going to have some sense of FOMO if you don't have the full Monty from Mad Micas or whatever, it's probably going to benefit you more in the long run. And as somebody who does have the full Monty of Mad Micas, plus the entire catalog of a number of other mica companies, I highly recommend not doing that because there's no use for it. The differences in greens between, the 14, 15 different greens that Mad Micas have, it's so slight with so many of them that I do not need it. I do not need the maniacal pea and let us entertain you. It's kind of the same color, But anyway, so with this particular scent that she is working with, I believe it's a Sierra candle scent, but I'm not 100% sure on it. And she is going to be working with some nice, beautiful, slow-moving batter, some slow-moving oils within all of this, really helping out with the boost of the bubble with the castor because she's only working at about 30% palm or coconut. The bar hardening is going to be coming from her sodium lactate as well as her palm oil, and then her canola and her olive at 20%. It's right across the board. This is just a great recipe for sure. I think that this is going to be a delightful experience with her pour, and I'm very much looking forward to showing it to you. And while we show it to you, we're going to talk more about Laurel Berry and why her, footage was so, I don't know, like emotionally charged for me. I didn't expect it to be, but she just kind of started chit-chatting with me like she's sitting at my kitchen table talking to an old friend and sort of giving me life lessons on things that I haven't really experienced yet and ways that she approached them and all the beautiful memories and stuff that, came out as a result. And I thought that that was amazing. Okay, and on to the pour of this, and it looks like she is going to be layering it into her pour spout container basically the way that I did. So essentially like a faux column, faux funnel, whatever, pour into the container itself, and then she will then be putting that into her mold at varying, angles and all the jazz. So I love it. We definitely had essentially what that means is we had two that we opted to do the faux funnel, column, whatever, and two that decided to do a more thin lines approach to the wood grain and actually layer the soaps in a line pattern towards the spout. And so it's awesome. And I'm very much looking forward to showing you what her final product was with all of this and how it's, better than mine. Because all of the Project Soapway ones are better than mine. Like, just across the board. I don't know why you people continue to let me be a part of the challenges, really. But yes, Shelly of Laurel Berry, she actually started the making soap thing and whatnot kind of around the COVID time. And she decided to make soap and do the things. She really likes, big puzzles and putting them all together. And she enjoyed giving her stuff to friends and family and all of that jazz. And she then decided that she wanted to make a business out of it with the assistance and the encouragement of her father. Now, from what I can tell, she has an amazing relationship with her father who, wow, look at that knot. That she does a lot of back and forth for that. That's delightful. See, that's the trick. Twisted and Laurel Berry, they have it right. But yeah, her father was a retired Navy guy. He was a Vietnam vet. And in the last few years, he was kind of going through his end of life stuff. And they kind of built this business together. He, invested in the business and helped out and assisted with a whole lot of the things. And he had his office. He was always a working man. And he had his office next to her. And they would spend a lot of time while she was making products, formulating recipes, just chit-chatting. And he was her biggest fan and champion within the soapy journey. And he would tell her stories about his life. And she got to, I don't know, experience a different relationship with her parents than maybe what she normally had before. And I do know that that is a thing at, end of life with our parents and whatnot. And if you have the opportunity to seize those moments and capture them and really take them for what they are, which are magical. These are magical moments that you're never going to get with this loved one again, and take that with you on your journey after they have, moved on to their next adventure. I highly recommend it. And I believe that she definitely did not take any of that for granted, and that she has a feeling of her, her father in the soap shop with her at all times, and really there with her. And I found that to be just so inspiring and such a lovely, healthy way to be processing the grief and the loss that comes from, losing somebody that is so incredibly important. Taking away those moments that you spent, the good things, the stories, and not all of the rest, which can be, the stuff of nightmares, really, with end of life care, and holding on to that. And so I was incredibly just privileged and honored that she would share that with me. And in all honesty, like I said, I kind of feel like I was almost in a therapy session, and she was, I don't know, just telling me about life and things that I have yet to experience at the level that obviously she has. Losing my grandparents was a horrible thing for me. I was incredibly close with my grandparents, and while they were like parents to me, they were not my parents. And that is a completely different experience, and one that I am not looking forward to, in a bajillion years, because Mama Soap and Clay is never going to leave me. She's not allowed. But should that a day ever happen, I will definitely take what I heard from Shelley in all of this to heart, to remember these good moments and make that part of who you are. And she has made all of the good moments, all of the great things about her father and her mother to that, and really use that within her soapy business and what she does within her business. And I think that that's lovely and absolutely perfect. And I also love that when she did have to say goodbye to her father for the last time, she understood that she needed time. And so she took a step back from this for a while. And during that time, she did a rebrand. And so her Facebook is still going to say her original, business lane, which is Lynn Bow Artisan. And all those links, are below or whatnot. But her new business is Laurel Berry Artisan, which I think is a great name just generally for the search engine and everything, because people are always looking up Laurel Berry soaps. And so that's definitely going to help your website and whatnot track and get to where it needs to be. But the Facebook page, I highly recommend you go check it out. And in particular, go check out one post that's from August 20th, very recent. And it's in honor of her dad and her, 4th of July soap, her patriotic soap, to honor him. And it says here that purchase price will be donated to Wounded Warrior in his name, because like I said, he was a Navy vet. And I truly love that. And you can see her dad and all of his glory in that picture, and go show her all the love, because I was absolutely moved with all of this. And it was a very like I said, it was a lovely thing. So much about Project Soapway is me really wanting to connect to the humanity of all of the Sudsers, because I think for me that's more of an interesting part of this soap making journey. We can all help each other out with soap recipes and designs and whatnot, but I am wildly more interested in the person behind the creations than, the beautiful soap itself. Does that make sense? Okay, and on to the cut of this. And first up, we did not talk about her nails before, but can we talk about her nails for a minute? Look how gorgeous they are. I love her nail game so hard. And also, she wears silicone bands like me, which is super awesome. So I definitely took note of that. But we did see with her pour that it did get a little bit thick at the end stages or whatnot. And she did not freak out. She just continued on with her pour, and she finished it up. And now we get to see the cut and all of the things and all of the beautiful wood grain inside of it. She was also telling me during this stage of the cut that she has tall lady problems, in that all of the counters are too short for her. And I relate to that so hard. So, like, my soap counters are custom built for me because I am a tall lady with really long legs. And all of the kitchen counters all of the counters in my house, we custom built them to have the height that I need, so I'm not forever stooping over, stuff while I'm cooking or making soap or whatever, leading to back problems. And so I related to that so hard. Something else that I related to so hard within all of this is she was talking about Kaylee and the Discord and all the people and how wonderful just the Sudsers in general are in the Discord, and I completely agree. But she specifically called out Kaylee and talked about how much she loves Kaylee. And I'm like, same. Me too. Kaylee is just legendary. She's all of the things. She never shows up for premieres anymore, though, so everybody should definitely, just for fun, tag Kaylee and comment in the main comments for when she does manage to come over to, watch the video and, just give her a hard time. Because it's funny. She's a busy lady. But this cut, very, very excited to see it. So she is cutting from top to bottom, if you see this. So before, all of the cuts have been us separating, the left from the right, and then you have the center if you're looking at the mold. But what she is doing is she is cutting the top of the total loaf off and the bottom of the total loaf off. So different way to cut it. And as you can see, different pattern as a result. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this. I'm pretty sure this is how you cut for a lotus. Keep that in mind, confirm that, but keep that in mind for, upcoming soap challenges, because that's one of them that you guys are working on right now. So you're going to be wanting to cut the top off and the bottom, instead of from side to side. But absolutely gorgeous with that. And I am interested to see if she does any more, if she the other chunks that she has, if she cuts them off in a different way, maybe from side to side. So we will find out here. And no, she's not going to. She's going to, that's how she's releasing the pattern. And it's absolutely stunning. I think that is really, really beautiful. And I have an entire, yard full of wood right now. And so I can confirm that that's how that looks when you have your wood all out and ready to go. We have structural lumber out right now because the addition is going up as soon as we get back from Ed Sheeran. So that'll be fun. But that's how it looks. All the beautiful knots and all the awesome stuff that exists. I love this so hard. She did an amazing job with this. I have been so just grateful for her to be in the, Sudser community and share all of her talents with us. I'm so glad that she won one of these challenges. It's definitely a well-deserved win. Those are so beautiful. Everybody obviously go check out. Oh yeah, also that's an interesting difference, isn't it? From bottom to top when you cut it that way. Those are two completely different colored soaps out of the same batch. But yeah, I'm just incredibly glad that she's here and she existed, and everybody needs to go and give her all of the love and the support and, like her socials and all the jazz. And when she does release her website, when she's back and ready to do that, we will all go support her bigly for that one as well. She actually sent the soap mod a beautiful picture of a whole bunch of cool Sanderson sister soaps that I cannot wait to get my hands on. And there it is, a gorgeous wood grain soap from Shelley of Laurel Berry. Now, first up, the actual technique. It's interesting how we have all decided to essentially do the exact same technique so far. So we're all doing, a pour on the side of the mold and then cutting the bar into weird shapes in order to really release the wood grain pattern. Second, she did it better than I did. But obviously, everybody on Project Soapway is going to do a better job than me because, that's how it works. But third, Shelly is a human. Her story, Laurel Berry, absolutely delightful. I really love how honest and realistic and just I like the realist approach that she has to life. So many of us have been in those situations wherein we have seen our parents or our family members or, whatnot go through final stages of life. And it can be really easy to sort of really focus on the hard times and forget about the magic that can come from a situation like that. And for me, knowing that Shelly got to experience, the final stages of her father's life with him as her biggest supporter, as her biggest champion, sitting together in their respective offices, her working, him working, her learning stories about his past that she otherwise didn't know before, really capturing the moments that she was getting with him in those final months is great. And it's beautiful. And like I said, I love knowing that. So Shelly, thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for sharing yourself with the Sudsers. Thank you for sharing your video with the interwebs. And everybody, Sudsers, all the people, go support her. It's definitely a hard business to get into. It's hard to run a business generally. She did talk about it a whole lot within her footage about how it's difficult to become a business and figure out all of the internet stuff and whatever if you weren't born into it. And the internet is just something that's a native language to you. And I super do get it. So for everything that she has managed to do, getting all of her socials and everything together, go give her love and support. And when she launches for her website, we'll all go support her then at that point too. Thank you very much for existing within the Sudser community. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to all the Sudsers who support and uplift all of the fellow Sudsers. Go do that with Shelly. Go do that with Laurel Berry. Go do that with everybody. But anyway, I am glad that I was able to end the week on this one because after that, I really do kind of need a little bit of a break. I need some reflection and, some emotional healing and all of the things, or really leaning into a healing that I didn't realize I was going to get from this particular video. So on that note, I will be gone for the next couple days. We are going to have an entire weekend event. Mr. Soap and Clay and I are going to Ed Sheeran, back-to-back nights, 2 different tours. It's all a thing. Ed Sheeran is crazy. And we're going to go enjoy each other's company and be completely offline. So thank you very much for joining me for this, for joining the Sudsers, for all of the things. Project Soapway is such a big deal for me, and I really appreciate people supporting it and supporting each other, because that's kind of the point of all of this. So thank you again. I am out of here, but I will see you guys in a couple days for another round of soapy fun. Bye.